Hello! As you can see, we are out of the office today. We're doing something a little bit different, not the usual stuff. It's a bit sunny, but well, I guess we can't complain because at least it's not raining lah. So anyway, we are not doing a travel vlog. We are still very much in real estate, just a little bit of sun exposure today.
Although to be fair, when we spend so much time walking landed estates every week, maybe we automatically qualify already.
Okay, so next time when she wants to go for a viewing, maybe y'all can ask her in the comments down below to do a viewing vlog.
But of course, PDPA lah, some buyers and sellers, they don't like it.
Okay, then we make sure the seller okay one, then show y'all. In any case, rain or shine, we'll be there. It's part and parcel of the job, can't really escape it. You don't really have a basement sheltered car park all the way to go up to the unit. But it is what it is. So for landed properties, I think another thing to note is it's very hard to really visualize how it is from just looking at listings online. You really truly got to be there, at least that's what we feel, to be on the grounds, to see whether the environment or the house, how it looks from the outside, is it really for you? Sometimes listings, they don't even put the house photos, they don't even tell you the street name, and then you don't even know where it is. But that's for another episode.
Yeah, and orientation and the facing, it's very hard to tell unless you're really on the ground. Whether it really feels bright and breezy or dark and enclosed, and especially the street outside, whether it's wide, whether there's single yellow line, double yellow line, because that determines your street parking. And Tonglu, that's one thing that a lot of buyers actually avoid. And two houses can look similar on floor plan, but can actually feel very, very different in real life. Anyway, since we are talking about landed homes, we figured we'll do it in an area that we are most comfortable with, and also a place that we've concluded the most transactions in. And because we spend so much time here, I get this question a lot from buyers and sellers alike. And the question is, how much does it cost? Your inter-terrace, your semi-D how much? Your corner terraces how much?
Yeah, especially if you just look at data on Property Guru or on URA website, I guess you can only see three data. You can only see the street name, the PSF, and the transactor price. Right? All these things don't really tell you the full story. You may ask yourself also like, how come this house can sell so cheap? How come this inter-terrace can sell more expensive than a semi-D land? These are the sort of stuff that doesn't tell you the full story, and you really do need to come on the grounds to really understand why. So it really is very distinct. The each types, you got your inter-terraces, your corner terraces, the semi-Ds, your detaches, and even the creme de la creme of the landed property market, the good class bungalows.
Yeah, and originally we wanted to cover them all, but halfway through planning, we look at the script and we are like, wow, this is going to become a 1-hour documentary already.
And while we know that some of you may really enjoy a super in-depth analysis, I think what we decided to do is to cut it short. Today we'll just be going through the inter-terraces, and the next episode, the semi-Ds and corner terrace. As we know, attention span is also quite real lah.
And since we are in a 2 stories landed zoning, we will be focusing on your single story, 2 stories, and 2.5 stories. And we'll also be breaking them down into your original condition, your renovated and move-in condition, as well as your new built homes.
Before we begin, just a quick disclaimer. First, this video is produced for educational and maybe research purposes only. It's just for reference and not for any other usage.
Yeah, and due to privacy and PDPA concerns, the actual unit numbers and street names are intentionally omitted, as well as the prices mentioned here. They are not formal valuations. They reflect market discussions at the time of recording, and as you guys know, the property market is always moving, so prices might actually change by the time you guys are watching this.
As we mentioned earlier, what we can see is only so much. What you cannot see is also just important. Stuff like how many bidders are there, what was the last rejected, seller is holding out for what kind of price, and whether the listing suddenly disappear, redrawn, and so on.
And this is the reason why we spend so much time in landed estates. We are not just sitting behind the desk looking at URA numbers. We decipher the stuff that you guys don't see because we're out here every week walking different landed estates, viewing homes with clients, talking to owners and agents, seeing how fast certain units move, and also noticing patterns that some data won't show.
Over time, you can develop something that is called market pulse. It's not just all about what was sold, it's understanding why it's sold, what's moving, what's not moving, and what's next to go, why it's sold at that price, and also why it shouldn't even sell at that price sometimes.
And that is what makes landed homes so different from condos, because every landed home has its own little set of variables, like the street it is on, the neighbours that are beside you, and what facing it is.
Yeah, and I remember when I was a little boy visiting friends and relatives, those who stay in landed houses, right? And I was just thinking landed means landed lah. Rich folks, and they're all the same, but oh boy, I was so wrong, right? And landed that has no side gardens, that's what inter-terraces are. And typically, they are what most buyers' entry point into landed property is. They are also the most abundant in supply, and that's what we're gonna explore today. So without further ado, let's kickstart and show you the inter-terraces.
Let's go!
Where we are right now is a street where inter-terraces are flanked on both sides of the streets. Inter-terraces are houses where you share a party wall with your neighbour. So imagine being sandwiched right in the middle, and by definition, it has to be at least a minimum requirement of 3 houses. 2 cannot, it has to be a minimum of 3 where you share the common boundary wall, and the minimum width is 6 meters.
And because we cannot escape the fact that we have neighbours on both sides, the most obvious downside of owning an inter-terrace besides parking space would be natural light. But there are ways around it. So some owners actually do install a skylight where natural light shines into the middle of the house.
And despite that, inter-terraces are still very much in demand because obviously they have a lower entry price and a lower maintenance as well, because they have a lower size requirement. So all in all, it'll be much more manageable in terms of quantum wise. And not only that, I think they have the most efficient usage of space also, because you can utilize the build-up fully. You don't have to have a side setback of 2 meters. So for example, if a corner terrace and an inter-terrace has the same land size, you can expect the common terrace build-up to be much lesser, much smaller within.
Alright, let's start with one of the most accessible entry point into landed living. Take a look at this house at the back. What do you guys think? Run down and old, right? But this category is quite important to understand, because buyers are not buying it for how it looks like today, they are buying it for how it looks like tomorrow.
Good point. So the structure itself is really secondary. The buyers out here that are looking for such a house, the land itself will be the most important, right? Where the land situated is, and they all have the same vision in mind, which is redevelopment. What is it gonna be in the future? So do note that although it is the cheapest entry right now, it may not be the cheapest overall.
Yeah, so for a typical land size of about 2,000 square feet, you're actually looking around $3.9 to $4 million. And yes, we actually help our buyers secure a similar unit around this price range recently.
Right, and what's interesting is that many first-time buyers kind of underestimate how competitive the demand for such houses usually is, because you know, it looks like some Karaguni rundown house, right? Like ghost house, haunted like that. But in fact, they all have the same vision in mind, which is I'm gonna rebuild it. So the competition really is really hot. And
you can see from recent transactions that the trend is becoming clearer. A similar unit transacted at $3.7 million late last year, and another at $3.5 million earlier this year, and is currently undergoing rebuilding into a newly built inter-terrace. So that's a 10% increase in just less than a year. And prices are only going to go up. And just to sidetrack a bit, this newly built inter-terrace is going on sale, so do contact us for more information.
And that goes to show that sentiment in the landed market can move up very quickly when the supply is tight.
And the buyer's profile for a unit like this, usually it's number 1, buyers buying to rebuild into their forever homes, or number 2, developers looking to buy and sell.
And both groups have the same mindset. They're not buying for today, they're buying for tomorrow, which is probably going to be 2 years later. Wow, very hot. Now let's talk about real numbers. So if the resale land that you're going to buy is $4 million, how quickly it will really add up? Because rebuilding cost is roughly about 1.8 on average, sometimes even more depending on the quality of materials that you're going to use. So all this will all add up. Your design cost, your architecture cost, your engineer cost, contingency funds set aside if you need them.
And as well as your submission costs, your approvals to the authorities. And when you add this all up, you're looking at about $6 to $6.5 million, and that is if everything runs smoothly. And in terms of construction, I think that's a very generous assumption already.
A lot of buyers tend to underestimate the emotional side of things, the emotional journey. The stress from the cash flow, your monthly mortgage payments, your construction loans, to not even just the financial side of things, your decision-making fatigue in terms of what you're gonna design to choose from, and your contractor coordination, or maybe even, touch wood, some delays in the whole construction ordeal.
As well as the waiting time. Some people think 2 years building time is okay, but living through that 2 years is a totally different story. Especially if you're paying a mortgage loan on something that you can't even live in, and you're likely going to have to rent interim. And then that can be a very painful and grueling process.
Yeah, and it's all cash out but nothing back. You gotta wait 2 years before everything is completed. And despite that, rebuilding is still very hot in demand. The reason because it's one glove fit all. It's fully customized, it's fully personalized to your needs, and you're not adapting your life around the house. Instead, the house is built around you. Moving up, we have two-story inter-terraces such as this row where we are right now. And these houses were all originally built back then as a two-story inter-terrace. So like most homes, like any other property, once you do your first renovation, most of the time after decades of living in it, it has served you well. You won't really do any much more renovations after that lah.
This is in fact a very interesting category because it sits on a very sweet spot, very hot in today's market I would say, because you're not forced to rebuild to live in it, just a simple reno would do, but you still have the flexibility to do more if you want to. We actually sold this behind us for $4.65 million just earlier this year, and this has become a reference point in today's market.
And in fact, I think this kind of price you can't find anymore. I remember we did spot a very, very good buy for our buyers last year, and it was going for like what? 3.9? $3.9 million for a two-story original condition inter-terrace leh. And that is something that you can't buy anymore. I think the seller really let go at a damn good steal, super good price. But today you kind of have to expect a 4.5 to maybe about 4.8 for a good location two-story inter-terrace. That's where the pricing is at.
Yeah, and buyers like this category because you have space efficiency. Basically, you have more build-up, so more rooms, and they are generally good enough for smaller families.
Basically, this gives you better flexibility. You're not locked into just one direction. There is better utilization of space. You are a two-story, so you have at least 3 rooms on top, and you have a much lower initial outlay compared to buying a brand new build. There is also lesser downtime in terms of moving in, and overall, it gives you the flexibility to upgrade, upsize, and rebuild along the way if you want to.
But of course, the cons come with aging structure risks, hidden possible maintenance costs, and as well as layout constraints from older designs, because some on the second level do not have ensuite and only have 1 bathroom. Some do not have granny's room on the first level, no lifts, so it's not elderly friendly.
You just need to be aware of what you're buying. Next up, we have renovated inter-terraces, something like this or that. One look and you can tell it's a little bit more modernized. You have extended frontage for some of them. The front porch has shifted out, or A&A has been done. Some works have been done basically, and you do notice that a lot of them will have a full glass sliding door frontage as well, which looks very nice, very modern. And this segment has grown in popularity in the recent years because one simple reason is that renovation cost has been on the rise.
Yeah, so many buyers prefer certainty over customization because renovation works is not only expensive, it is unpredictable. A renovated inter-terrace sitting on 2,200 square feet land start from about $5 million onwards. But of course, if the renovation is super shabby or too dated looking, then it might not be worth paying that amount compared to a more original condition two-story house, because ultimately whatever you pay might eventually be the same.
End of the day, when you want to buy a renovated inter-terrace, you're buying a peace of mind because all the heavy lifting has been done. Your roofing, your waterproofing, your repiping, rewiring has all been done up for you.
So most of the buyers of renovated inter-terraces are saying, maybe the aesthetic suits me, I can just tweak them a little bit, I want to move in ASAP, settle down with my family and not have to deal too much with contractors.
Yes, and this change in mindset is very crucial because this changes the buying behavior across the entire market.
Let's move on to 2.5-story inter-terraces. This is where things start to look noticeably more premium. So you have an additional level, an additional attic that changes things, especially important for people with bigger families, not like 2+2 like me, maybe a 2+3 or 2+4 plus in-laws.
These are typically your older rebuilds or older reconstructed house. Slightly dated, but still very functional. Maybe you can just add in a touch of reno to really spruce things up. It may or may not come with a lift, but it's still very functional for growing families, especially with able-bodied people in the house, where I think kids will find a whole lot of fun. Anyhow, houses such as this will definitely be more affordable than your newer rebuilds, but some of them can still shine in their own ways if they've been designed really well or maintained really well.
And one notable good buy sold last year for $4.9 million, and another similar one sold earlier this year for $5.2 million.
Same category, just a little different in timing.
And the extra half a story may not seem much, but it can actually make a huge difference. It often translates to extra rooms, study lofts, higher ceiling spaces, and better segregation of space.
And that's the reason why the demand remains very strong for this category. All you need is a little touch of reno and lower downtime compared to the rest that we've seen before.
And finally, a brand new 2.5 stories Inter-Terrace. This is the dream category that most buyers would want. Because if you can choose, would you want a brand new car, that brand new smell, that brand new feel, rather than a COE car, right? At this point, you're not buying compromise, you're buying completeness.
With a brand new house such as this, you get modern architecture, much more efficient use of space. You got a lift provision to all levels, probably a higher ceiling here and there compared to your older builds, and you'll get move-in readiness.
And most importantly, time. You skip 2 to 3 years of stress. We recently transacted this at around $6.35 million. And remember the $3.5 million single story that we mentioned previously is currently going for $6.68 million. So for those of you who are keen, do reach out to us. We'll definitely get you the best price. But of course, buying a new build means waiting for it. But if you can visualize the space and the dimensions and layout works for you, then the last piece of the puzzle is price. And if price makes sense, then why not? It's the same as buying a new launch condo, right?
Yes, and honestly, if cost pressures and price trends continue to be on the rise, we could see something like this be 7 million in the future, and that is very real. Because as we can see, the land plots are already going from 3.5 million last year to 3.9 million this year. At the end of the day, there is always a trade-off when buying a landed house. All in all you gotta do is find a balance between time and money, control and convenience, and your risk and certainty.
And there is no perfect choice, only the right fit for your situation. So that wraps up our Inter-Terraces. Hopefully today's video will give you a clearer understanding on the prices, the tiers, and most importantly, what is the price trend on the ground today, as shifts can happen at any point in time, and whether you'll be overpaying or not.
Do catch us on our next episode where we cover corner terraces and semi-D. That's where the land economics really start to widen and the pricing differences also become much more. So as you can probably already tell, landed segment is truly different. No property is one like the other. You gotta understand your needs very clearly and which house can cater to your needs.
So if you guys are currently exploring landed and want a more detailed breakdown based on your budget and requirements, feel free to reach out to us.
As usual, if you like our landed content, do hit the like and subscribe button. And if you'd like to see some more of such outdoor shoots, also do let us know in the comments below. It really helps the channel, and it also let us know what you are looking out from us.
And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye!